Japanese gardens are an escape from the world around you. And in times of war, they were that place of peace.
As you can hear directly around here, we've got Interstate 71 over here, downtown Louisville behind us. We are an urban botanical garden. So the significance of a Japanese garden, it is really a place of peace and tranquility. There's harmony created between our daily lives, our busy lives, and nature.
日本庭園の本来の意味は単なる形式や構成物にあるのではなく、実はその精神性と芸術性にあるのだということを知っていただきたかったからです。
Japanese garden will actually be surrounded by hedges, so it's a place that you're almost transported into a different world.
And there'll be benches to sit down and listen to the water features, the waterfall, look at the koi fish, sit in the tea garden, just an escape from real life.
So the Japanese garden is going to be right over my right shoulder to your left. If you look across into that vacant field, that's roughly the 2 acres of where that Japanese garden is going to be. It's pretty much in the center of the property. We'll have large boulders, we'll have a tumbling waterfall. That'll be one of the highest points on the property, a forked stream that with a zigzag bridge far left, a tea house on the left, 3 authentic gatehouses that give access to the garden.
In 2013, we hired architects Perkins and Will from, they're actually out of Atlanta and Chicago, and they developed our master plan. So in 2014, the master plan was released and had a Japanese garden in it. During those years, there was a family, a couple, Emil and Nancy Grazer, who donated to the gardens, but started literally with a $20 donation. And then eventually Emil Grazer met with us and said that he wanted to pledge an end-of-life gift of $1 million.
Emil Grazer fell in love with Japanese culture and Japanese gardens when he was a little boy. He ordered a bonsai tree out of the back of a National Geographic magazine, and that instilled his love for Japanese gardens.
A few months after he died, Nancy, his wife, died 2 weeks later. His family came to us and said, we want to put up a $500,000 match grant to move the Japanese garden from phase 3 into phase 1. Right about the same time, 2 other things happened. Tom McCurry was a fella who had bonsai trees, a long-time collector, donated 24 bonsai trees to us. The third thing that happened was we met Nick Nakamura, who owns land over in Harrison County and lives in New Albany, but does projects all over the world. He's an architect, and introduced us to who he said was the top Japanese designer in the world.
One of the most significant things about Shiro Nakane is this is only going to be his 3rd Japanese garden in the United States. And the other 2 are very significant. One is at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library Gardens in Atlanta, Georgia, and the other in the National Gallery Gardens up in Washington, D.C. So Louisville, Kentucky is the 3rd one on the map.
どうしてケンタッキー州に日本庭園を作るのか、そんな疑問を持つ方が皆さんの中にはいらっしゃるかもしれません。ごもっともです。同じ疑問を最初私も持ちました。しかしこの植物園のごみ埋め立て地は確かに人間の作ったものではありますが、同時に人間にはそれを自然の一部として再生することもできるということを示したいとも思い始めたのです。
What I remember most about what Mr. Nakane said when he first came was that having a Japanese garden is important because it teaches kids to appreciate plants for future generations. So it's the preservation of plants that he focused on.
And in working with Shiro Nakane, our designer out of Kyoto, Japan, we've learned so much about the design and the aesthetics of the Japanese garden.
Through the interpreter, we were kind of hearing, we would think that he would love to see this area because of the topography, or it's a borrowed view of Beargrass Creek, or this or that. And so we would present this to him, and there would be a conversation in Japanese, and we're all waiting with bated breath to be like, is this it? And then all of a sudden we'd be like, no, it's not. And we're like, oh no, what is it that he wants?
I think he fell in love with the fact that this 23 acres is being built on a former landfill, and he knows what it can do for this community, for this region. And so it was such an honor that he decided to work with us on the project. I will preface that a lot of the work, to begin with, will be underneath the ground. Being built on a former landfill, the construction debris will have to be removed, and we'll have to fortify that land with concrete piles that will go throughout the 2 acres.
You know, we've been building, very aggressively, and we've been having success. So, people want to be involved with success, and I think it would be exciting to be able to bring people in to see, like, look what we've done already. Can you imagine what this design of the Japanese garden will physically manifest in a couple of years with your interest, with your donation?